And so what am I gonna say? That I'm feel myself becoming infatuated with a 20-year-old girl?
We have to hand it to you, Woody Allen. You sure know a thing or two about age gaps. You've played the much older man enough times in your movies to have nailed that role. And when it comes to your real-life relationships, you're certainly letting life imitate art. Like marrying your long-term partner's adopted daughter, who happens to be nearly 35 years younger than you. That's almost as big a gap as the characters you play.
Life doesn't imitate art, it imitates bad television.
So many Hollywood movies have a male lead that is much older than his female counterpart, but your jaw will drop when you find out just how big the age difference is between the actors playing those on-screen couples. Keep watching to the end to discover which leading lady dropped out of a movie because she wasn't digging the age gap, and which other actor was happy to take her place. It's one thing when the age gap between actors means the male lead could be the female lead's father, but it's a whole other ballgame when he's technically old enough to be her grandfather. You'd think that kind of romance would be a bit of a stretch, even for the movie business. However, that's exactly what happened when Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones acted opposite each other in Entrapment. These two had nearly 4 decades between them when they shot the movie. Sean was 68 and Catherine was 29 when they filmed the 1999 crime thriller. That adds up to a 39-year age difference. We'll let that one sink in for a moment.
Were you worried about me, Mag?
Of course, Catherine wouldn't mind such an age gap on the big screen. After all, she has a large age difference in her real-life relationship with Michael Douglas. This couple proves that love knows no boundaries when it comes to age, as there are exactly 25 years between them. And they first met in 1998, the year before Entrapment was released. It's like it was all meant to be.
And I think we're very blessed to have a lot of mutual respect.
While the age difference between Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones is easy to spot out, that isn't always the case for some on-screen couples. Sometimes actors look like they're pretty much in the same age bracket, so the big age gap comes as even more of a shock when the truth gets out. That's the case with the stars of Edge of Tomorrow. Tom Cruise was 51 when filming the 2014 movie, while Emily Blunt was 31.
I volunteered. I'm not walking away.
Tom is one of those actors who has managed to age really well, like Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio. But we'll get back to those two A-listers a little later in the video. When we see Tom Cruise acting alongside a love interest who's 2 decades younger than him, we don't bat an eyelid, as it's not so obvious that he's old enough to be her father. It's also interesting that Tom and Emily's characters flip the age gap on its head. After all, it's Emily's character that's in charge, training Tom's character to fight aliens.
In the meantime, you need to figure out a way to get us off that beach.
Woody Allen and Juliette Lewis give Sean Connery and Catherine Zeta-Jones a run for their money by having 37 years between them. Although they fall short of Sean and Catherine's age gap by 2 years, their age difference in husbands and wives is a lot more scandalous. That's because Juliette was just 19 when she acted in the 1992 movie, while Woody was 56. She was still a teenager and very much looked like one.
Do you seduce all your students?
Stop
Listen,
it!
I don't know what this is about.
Woody Allen, of course, knows all about age gaps. In the 1979 movie Manhattan, he was 43, while his love interest Mariel Hemingway was 17. In the 1992 movie Husbands and Wives, Woody's character leaves his wife to follow a flirtation with Juliette's character, and there was a bit of life imitating art going on. Woody's wife in the film was his long-term partner in real life, Mia Farrow. Around the time of the movie's release, Woody left Mia to marry her adopted daughter, Soon-Yi Previn, who was 21 at the time. Woody and Soon-Yi have nearly a 35-year age gap.
I have an adult relationship with Soon-Yi.
We mentioned Brad Pitt earlier, and now we're revealing the age gap between him and his on-screen lover. Brad was 40 when the 2004 film Troy was released, while Rose Byrne was just 25. That's a 15-year age gap. It's not as big as many of the others on our list, but it's an interesting one to include. That's because it shows just how well Brad has aged. You wouldn't think he was finishing up high school when Rose was being born, now would you? When you look at the age difference in that context, it brings it home in a whole new light.
You think you're so different from 1,000 others?
In real life, Brad has been in relationships with more than a 10-year age difference. He was born in December 1963, while his ex-wife Angelina Jolie was born in June 1975. That's an 11.5-year age gap. The same goes for Tom Cruise. He was born in 1962, while his ex-wife Katie Holmes was born in 1978. That's more than a 16-year age difference.
I feel fortunate.
If we're talking about big age gaps in real life as well as in movies, then we have to include Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. They starred together in the 2011 movie The Rum Diary. Johnny was 48 and Amber was 25, making it a 23-year age difference. Even for an actor like Johnny, who has aged incredibly well, you can't help but notice an age gap like that. And it wasn't just an on-screen age difference.
You two know each other?
As their feelings for one another developed in real life too. As with so many co-stars, intense emotions grew between Johnny and Amber. The two actors fell in love, proving that an age difference can't stop deep feelings. The couple got married in 2015, when Johnny was 51 and Amber was 28. However, their love story soon turned sour when Amber filed for divorce from Johnny after just 1 year of marriage. With accusations flying against each other, they sadly didn't get the happy ending they had hoped for.
How is this happening to me? You know?
We're keeping with the theme of actors who have big age gaps not only on screen, but in real life too. However, unlike Johnny Depp, it's not with the same woman off and on screen for Harrison Ford. On screen, Harrison played opposite Anne Heche in the movie 6 Days, 7 Nights. He was 55 years old and she was 28 when they filmed the 1998 movie, making it a 27-year age difference. Thanks to Harrison's boyish looks, however, the age difference wasn't as obvious as it could have been.
No, that does not make me feel better.
As for his personal life, Harrison is married to Ally McBeal star Callista Flockhart. She's his third wife, and the couple has a 22-year age gap. He was born in July 1942, while she was born in November 1964. They began dating after meeting at the 2002 Golden Globe Awards. In 2010, the age-defying couple chose to tie the knot, and they are still going strong in 2020.
I'm grateful and happy. Thank you.
When Jeff Bridges and Maggie Gyllenhaal filmed the 2009 movie Crazy Heart, he would have been 59 and she would have been 31. That made the stars 28 years apart, which is a very significant age gap. Jeff was born in December 1949, while Maggie was born in November 1977. But get this, some movie makers think that as female actors reach their mid-30s, they're too old to play the love interest of a much older man.
No, I'm not sure it'd be such a good idea.
6 years after the movie was released, Maggie made some fascinating revelations about how Hollywood views female actors as they get older. In 2015, Maggie revealed in an interview that a Hollywood producer told her that she was too old to play the love interest of a 55-year-old man. She was just 37 at the time. Maggie admitted, "There are things that are really disappointing about being an actress in Hollywood, and these things surprise her all the time, like that astonishing judgment by the Hollywood producer. First of all, it made her feel bad, then it made her feel angry, but in the end, it made her laugh too."
Misogyny was on all of our minds.
In the 2013 movie Third Person, Liam Neeson plays an author who's left his wife and is now involved with a journalist played by Olivia Wilde. When they filmed the movie, Liam would have been about 61, while Olivia would have been around 29. Liam was born in June 1952 and Olivia was born in March 1984. That places them nearly 32 years apart. The actor that plays Liam's wife in the film, Kim Basinger, was born in December 1953, so unsurprisingly, they're much, much closer in age.
How she's the love of your life. Why would that bother me?
As we've seen with other movies on this list, the other woman character is often much younger than the man. That was the case with Woody Allen and Juliette Lewis's characters too. In real life, Olivia's two main men have both been nearly a decade older than her. Olivia's first husband was born in November 1975. Her longtime fiance, the actor and comedian Jason Sudeikis, was also born in 1975.
He's one of the best improvisers in the world.
Leonardo DiCaprio is one of those people who doesn't seem to age. Sure, he's not the fresh-faced young man we saw in the 1997 movie Titanic. He was just 22 when he shot that film. But today, he looks a lot younger than his actual age. So when he's cast alongside actors who are much younger than him, it's not jarring. Take his leading lady in The Wolf of Wall Street, for example. Leo, who was born in 1974, was 38 when filming the 2013 movie. Margot Robbie, who was born in 1990, was around 22 years old when she was cast as his on-screen wife. That's 16 years between them, and yet the couple didn't come off as inappropriate in the film. In fact, they seem evenly matched.
That's right, I forgot.
The pair starred on-screen together again in the 2019 Quentin Tarantino movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Brad Pitt also starred alongside them, making many movie fans' dreams come true. As for life imitating art, Leo and Margot aren't a couple, but Leo's penchant for youthful girlfriends has made headlines more times than we can count. But Margot clearly doesn't mind the large age gap, because about a year later, she starred opposite an actor who is even older than Leo.
I'm sorry, what?
If you thought a 16-year-old age gap was a bit of a stretch, then what about adding another 6 years onto that? As we know, Margot was born in July 1990. Will Smith was born in September 1968. That makes him nearly 22 years older than Margot. But that didn't stop Hollywood movie makers from casting the pair as on-screen lovers in the 2015 movie Focus. We're pretty used to leading men being much older than leading women by now.
How did you do that?
But what makes this movie particularly interesting is that the original female lead wasn't digging the age gap. Kristen Stewart is only 3 months older than Margot Robbie, being born in April 1990, and Kristen was slated to star in Focus before Margot came along. But it's been reported that when Will Smith became engaged with the project, Kristen chose to drop the movie. It's allegedly because she felt that the age difference between her and Will would be too big.
How did it go? It's done.
Which age gap surprised you the most? And what do you think of Hollywood's habit of casting much older men opposite much younger women? Be sure to sound off in the comments. Please give us a big thumbs up, and remember to hit that subscribe button to be the first to watch our latest videos. Thanks for watching, see you next time on The Things.